Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Puff Daddy have in common? No. They've all had their songs spoofed by my next guest. His hits included Like a Surgeon, Eat It, and It's All About the Premiums. His latest CD is called Running with Scissors. Please welcome Grammy winner, Weird Al Yankovic. Ruined my apron.
I'm sorry. You know, I would have wrapped myself in bubble wrap if I'd only known of your fetish, you know? You didn't tell me, they didn't tell me that during the pre-interview.
Why are you so funny?
I'm just a wacky, kooky, nutty, zany kind of guy. And you?
But you were like, no, but you were like working in some video store and nobody knew you were like such a...
I was?
Weren't you? Like one of those...
No, but let's... Okay, sure, yeah, I was working in a video store and, no, I got a degree in architecture, so I thought I was going to be an architect, and I worked in a mailroom, maybe that...
That's it, mailroom.
Mailroom, video store, they're pretty similar.
But nobody, like, here's what's fascinating to me.
Okay,
like that guy that we think's funny at work.
Uh-huh.
You know, but everybody's like, oh, he's kind of a smart ass.
And, Weird Al, you know.
Is that what they said about you?
Pretty much. You know, in my college dorms, there were two Als, and for some reason, they distinguished me as the Weird Al. So that's, I don't know why.
What did you do that was weird?
You know, I don't know. I just, maybe I was just kind of odd back then, I suppose. But I grew out of that.
Were you odd when you were, when you were a kid?
No, actually, you know, I was a pretty normal kid growing up. I was a straight A student all the way through school, a high school valedictorian, you know, the prototypical nerd, you know.
Oh, my God, a huge nerd. I didn't know that you were a big nerd.
I was king of the nerds.
King of the nerds? I was a huge nerd.
All nerds bowed down to me.
I was such a nerd
Were you really?
myself. Oh, my God.
What did you do?
I was such a nerd. Well, I was like a tragic nerd. Because, like, I'll just tell you about this one day when I was 16, I was crossing the street to go to school, and, of course, I had on this dress that I sewed in home ec.
Oh, yeah.
That's what a nerd. Along with my best friend, Sherry, who sewed the exact same dress, because we had to dress like twins, because we were that big of nerds, and she weighed 90 pounds, and I weighed 100 and probably 80 pounds. But we had to dress like twins because we were mentally ill. And so I step off the curb, and this lady in a car runs me over and drags me 30 feet by the legs, and the hood ornament goes in my head, and I'm like unconscious for about 6 months. That kind of a nerd.
Oh, wow. I know what you mean. One day I wore the same dress as my English teacher. It was so embarrassing. I can't even tell you.
Were you a scary nerd?
Well, I was the kind of guy that, you know, you'd think I was a serial killer in the making, one of those kind of, you know, very quiet, kept to himself a lot. No, nobody ever knew he'd do something like this, you know.
Well, did you have, like, crazy thoughts going around in your head all the time?
No, not really. I mean, I was just, you know, just kept to myself a lot, just a quiet kid, you know. I don't think anybody would have expected this of me.
Well, how did it happen that you turned out like this?
I don't know. I have a chemical imbalance in the brain or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
What made you funny?
Probably the Dr. Demento show kind of turned it. Are you familiar with Dr. Demento?
Oh, I love Dr. Demento, yeah.
So I was a big fan of his when I was, you know, starting when I was 12, 13 years old, and I heard people like Spike Jones and Stan Freberg and Tom Blair, Alan Sherman. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant stuff.
Oh, no, let's talk about Alan Sherman for a minute.
Okay.
Because that was what I was so in love with Alan Sherman.
Yeah,
I mean, he was God.
Yeah.
Wasn't he great?
He was wonderful, yeah.
And, like, so, like, you listened to him and, like, that, like, turned your sparks on?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because I'd never heard that kind of stuff before. Like, the Top 40 radio wasn't playing anything that remotely like that. And when I heard all these people doing funny music, I thought, well, this is great. I could do this. And I started sending in homemade tapes to Dr. Demento. And, well, like, I was 13, 14 years old when I started sending stuff in, and things just kind of progressed from there.
That's so cool that you, like, how'd you get the guts together to, like, send Dr. Demento a tape?
You know, I figured, you know, what could it hurt? You know, a 39-cent cassette, you know, that was my whole investment. And it was just me playing my accordion in my bedroom and singing along. It was horrible, horrible stuff, but he still played it on the air.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, it was great.
What a nice thing that he did.
Yeah, we're still very close friends.
He was on this show last year.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, I used to listen to it, too, and go, gee, you know, comedy, comedy, comedy.
Yeah,
I just got eaten up alive with the comedy thing. Yeah. You're weird. You're really weird.
Well, I do my best, you know.
Well, what do you do when you're like writing the song? Do you listen to the song over and over and think of how you can change the words, or what do you do?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be driving along in a car, or I'll be, watching MTV or listening to the radio, and after a while, my brain just spontaneously starts, changing the words around, and it just, I couldn't write a serious song if I tried. I think, the lyrics always kind of wind up kind of askew.
But you're also a really good mimic because you sound like everybody that you parody.
Well, somewhat. I'm not an impersonator. I'm not, like a Rich Little or Fred Trevelyan. I try to approximate the sound of the singer, but I don't ever claim to really sound like them.
But you do, though, because I know the truth, because now I'm listening to all these records since I'm a rock star now, and I try to, like, copy how they sing and everything. And it is mimicry, and I know you do it, because I know you probably listen to that Michael Jackson record probably 5,000 times. How many times did you listen to it?
Quite a few. I think like 412, maybe. I don't know. I lost count.
And even having the moves and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be more than 400 times that you watched that.
Well, that's kind of the humor in those videos, is I really am trying my hardest to dance, but it's like, the uncoordinated, lanky white guy trying to dance like Michael Jackson is kind of inherently funny, I guess, to some people.
But he did it! But we thought you danced good. So that's how mentally ill you are.
Yeah. I have to watch you, so you're going to be playing at the Mint, I guess, here in LA.
I'm going to be playing at the Mint.
I have to come see you perform.
Oh, it's so hard. I was going to talk to you about maybe helping me write a song, because, I'm like so serious about it, but it would be so wrong to be funny. Like, I'd like to write a parody of the song White Rabbit.
Okay.
Because I'm singing that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I've listened to it 1,000 times since, like, December 1st, and I almost have it. Why are you staring at me? You direct these music videos, too, don't you? Do you love that? After 20 minutes, they finally hold up a sign to help me out.
Why, yes, I do. Yeah, I've been directing my own videos for quite some time, and I'm directing for other people now, too. I've directed for the Black Crowes. And
I love them!
Me too!
They're good!
I like those guys.
I love them.
And Hanson and...
Hanson is so good,
Me too!
Hanson's good. You don't expect them to be good, but they're good.
They're good. They're nice guys.
They're cute.
Yes, they are. And John Spencer Blues Explosion.
I don't know them at all. I have never heard of them. Who is that?
Well, it's the John Spencer Blues Explosion. They play really insane rock and roll blues. And,
I love rock and roll blues.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hey, maybe you can make a video with me.
Okay.
Like when I do White Rabbit, and then you could do a video.
That'd be cool.
Would you want to direct it?
Okay.
I'll be like totally like in a bikini or something.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap?
Yeah.
Naked with bubble wrap over?
We can talk about that.
What do you think would work for me in terms of a video?
I have to get some serious thought. The bikini and bubble wrap idea was looking okay. I don't know. Maybe I have to get some serious thought. I have to, get back with my...
Kind of a share thing or no?
The share thing?
Is the share thing going to work for me? No, it might not work. But, the other one, what's her name? Stevie Nicks. Somewhere in between Cher and Stevie Nicks, what do you think?
You could twirl a lot, do the whole Stevie Nicks thing.
With the fanning?
Yeah. A lot of... Yeah, that'd be good. I see a lot of twirling. Twirling and bubble wrap. Okay,
Saran wrap.
we can work with that.
Leftovers
Aluminum
again,
foil,
as they say. We'll be right back. You know that joke.
I'm the pious guy.